Welcome to the demo for Subitem Import Update. Let's get started. First, we will open the Subitem Import Update Board feature app on our board, as you can see highlighted on the screen. Next, we will upload the Excel file containing all the records using the Choose File button. The supported file extensions are XLSX and XLS. I would like to go over the Excel file, its configurations, and supported columns quickly. The supported column types are status, number, text, date, email, phone, and timeline. For the column type of text in your main table, you can have plain text content in your Excel file. And for the column type of number, make sure that the column values in your Excel file consists of only numbers. For email column type, just make sure the values in your Excel file are valid email addresses. Moving on to the status column, whatever status label is there in the main table can be added in this column. You can also add labels that have not been created in the board yet. For the phone column, it is mandatory to put the country code before the number, otherwise wrong country code may be updated in the board. For the date column, please follow this particular format: year with 4 digits, followed by month with 2 digits, and lastly date with 2 digits. Now, the timeline column is a bit different. The column values should be configured in the following manner: start date followed by comma followed by end date. The start and end date should be similar to the date column. Year, month, and date. Please follow this configuration, otherwise the values will not be updated properly. In the Excel file, it is advised to clear the column formatting for this particular column and make it a plain text column. Now we will go ahead and upload the file in the application. Next, we need to choose any of the 3 options in the second section. I will briefly go over them. The first one is update or create new subitems under only one parent item. So here, you can choose any particular parent item and create or update the subitems under only that parent item. Please notice that the application will not look for any other subitems under other items for updating. The second option is update existing subitem, where Excel column field matches subitem name. This is a bit tricky. This option will look for subitems across the board and update when it finds the subitem name. And where are we getting the subitem name from? The subitem name will need to be in your Excel file. If subitems with the same name appear more than once in your board, only the first will be updated. And what is the difference between the first option and second option? The first option was capable of both creating and updating subitems. Here you can only update subitems. Secondly, the first option will only look for subitems under specific parent item that you selected. The second option will search across the whole board. Coming to the third option, this can create or update subitems within different parent items. So you can specify the name of the parent item in your Excel file. If any subitem with the same name exists, you can choose to update that particular subitem. Otherwise, whatever parent item name you have mentioned in your Excel file, the subitem will be created under that particular parent item. Now let us see how to use each of these 3 options. For the first option, as we mentioned, we can choose to update the subitems or create new subitems under a specific parent item. Here you can see 2 drop-downs. From the first drop-down, you can choose the item name. These are the items in your board. In the second drop-down, you need to choose the column in your Excel file that contains the name of the subitems. This is mandatory. Notice that the column header of your Excel has become lowercase in the drop-down. Don't worry about that. Now notice the checkbox. What does it do? If you select the checkbox, then even if your Excel file contains names of some subitems that are already in the board, it will still go ahead and create new subitems with the same name and will not update already existing subitems, all under the selected parent item. For the second option, just select which of the columns in your Excel file contain the name of the subitem to be updated. Remember, the application will look for the subitem across the whole board. Now, the third option. The third option is exactly similar like the first option. Only difference is that, instead of choosing the item name from a drop-down, we will need to indicate the item name in the Excel. So, in the first option, we were performing all actions under one parent item, and the parent item was fetched from the main table. And we could select the parent item from the drop-down. Here, we need to put the item names in one of the columns in Excel. In the first drop-down, we need to select the column in the Excel file that contains the subitem names. Remember, This is mandatory for all three options. And in the second dropdown, we need to select the column in the file that contain the parent item names. That's all. Other functionalities are same as the first option. If you don't select the checkbox, if a subitem name is already found under the parent item named mentioned in the Excel file, it will be updated. Otherwise, new subitem will be created. If you select the checkbox, only new subitems will be created, even if with duplicate names, under the parent item mentioned in the Excel file. Please make sure you have only one parent item name in the Set Excel column. In the last step, that is section 3, just map the remaining columns in your Excel file to the column in your board. Unmapped items will not be updated. Finally, press Submit. And you're done.